I call Adrian Ruapi.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Happy to take a call in this committee stage for this amendment bill. Just a few comments. When I spoke on the first reading, I did mention about the families that are sitting at home listening and wanting resolution. So it's good that we have a bill before the House that hopefully resolves these real issues. And I think I'd like to thank the Osborne family for having the tenacity to take it to a place to force the government to actually provide this amendment bill. And I think removing the doubt around the validity of under clause 164 of this Amendment Act can almost be directly attributable to the Osborne family. I think one of the other things that I spoke about also was the number of bills that have come before the House, including this one, that is to tidy up something. And I've only been a member of this Parliament for 15 months, and I think this might be about the 6th or 7th bill that I've spoken on that has needed to be tidied up. I certainly do hope that there are bills that come to the House in the future that don't need to be fixed up, that we get it right first up. Sir, I can't talk about being inundated with constituent inquiries in my electorate of Te Tai Hauru. I don't know of any. I'm sure there are some within the general electorates, but considering the low ownership rates of my constituents of homeowners, I'm hardly likely to get any inquiries around it. But I do feel for those people that are affected by leaky homes. I think they can draw some comfort from the clauses in Part 2 so that they now have the ability, so they get some comfort that they have applied for adjudication, and now that these clauses in Part 2 have been put in place so that they can go through that process. And also those who have made claimants and through this legislation, their claims are now eligible. And I think the Minister should be commended. Thank you for his earlier clarification of the questions that we have put to him on this side of the House. And widening the definition of a qualifying claimant is important as well for those that have, as we have heard from other members from the side of the House. And it did strike me as to why we don't hear the same kind of stories that must be going to the members opposite. And I think that it's, whilst it's important for the opposition to be putting its views on these clauses, I think we should also ask the government to put their position as well from members of Parliament that surely must be getting inquiries from their constituents. And so, sir, that's as I say, I do feel for those families that are waiting patiently for this legislation to pass, and I won't take up any more of the House's time except to say we will support this bill. Thank you.
Members, the question is that the Minister's amendments to Part 2 set out on SOP number 125 be agreed to. All those of that opinion will say aye. Those against, no. The motion is agreed to. The question now is that Part 2 is amended stand part. All those of that opinion will say aye. Those against, no. The part 2 as amended will stand part. We turn now to clauses 1 to 3.